Y'all, today's show is so good.
But number one, I've never seen an intro like that.
It is my hope and desire that not only will episode 30 still be fun, but episode 300 will be even more fun. You were made for something great, so go and be awesome.
Ten seconds remaining.
Hello, and welcome to the show. My name is Renee Hastings, and I'm your host of Renee Speaks. Y'all, today's episode is brought to you by Executive Help Now. At Executive Help Now, we're all about simplifying your business so that you can focus on what really matters. From streamlining operations to managing administrative tasks and keeping everything organized. Our team is here to help you thrive. If you're ready to make life a little bit easier, visit us at www.executivehelpnow.org. Y'all, today's guest is nothing short of absolute genius. When I tell you, Marc Jarrett is a leading virtual networker and creator of Virtual Power Networking, or VPN for short. It is a WhatsApp group with over 500 groups in the ecosystem, and it connects top entrepreneurs and thought leaders. It's endorsed by Meta and the USPSC. He offers networking services from free communities to high-ticket global expansion programs. Recognized as Networker of the Year and Golden Social Connector, Marc helps professionals grow their networks and achieve business success. Y'all, put your hands together for Marc Jarrett.
Wow, what a stellar introduction. Thank you so much. I'm so excited, and what a wonderful way to end the working week.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Marc. And I know that you are across the pond, so it is a little bit later over there than it is here. I just had lunch. So
It's a confusing time of year because usually there's 5 hours time difference between the UK and the East Coast of the United States.
right.
But then there's a 3-week window where the time difference is just 4 hours, which it is now.
Oh, okay. So you're about ready for some dinner then.
I certainly am.
Awesome. And we want to welcome our guest to the show. Jane is here. She says, good day, everyone. Wendy says, hello. Thank you all for joining us in the chat. Tiana's here. Happy Renee Speaks Friday. Oh, I'm so excited. Every Friday at 1:00, we get to do this, and it is such a thrill. We learn so much. We bring guests on the show that benefit our audience in so many different ways, whether we're entrepreneurs, other types of business owners. It doesn't matter because our guests are absolute rock stars who help us on our journey so that we don't have to repeat their mistakes and we can have a little bit smoother time of it as we're trying to grow and develop our businesses. So, Marc, I can't thank you enough for being a part of this journey with us.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for the awesome introduction.
Yes, absolutely. So now, when we talk about networking, that's an actual place that is near and dear to my heart because our business, Executive Help Now, was built on referrals. And we wouldn't have referrals if we didn't network. So I understand personally the value of networking, but some people might have a difficult time of it. So before we get into the nitty gritty of it all, how to do it well, tell me what inspired you to create the virtual power networking platform on WhatsApp.
Sure. So both my parents had the propensity to talk with strangers. Young, old, black, white, rich, poor, they didn't give a damn, and nor do I. So I've inherited that trait from them. And I spent the rump of my career in telecoms. I was first to market with logos and ringtones about a generation ago. And then in 2012, I launched the world's first celebrity chat line. If you go to YouTube and search for Dialer Star, you'll see that was me. It got roasted by CNN, ABC, Howard Stern, Wendy Williams. They thought it was hilarious, but there's no such thing as bad publicity, right?
Right.
And then WhatsApp is a telecoms product. When I first joined it 7 years ago, I noticed that most Americans don't use WhatsApp, which I thought was quite ironic because it's an American product.
Right. Unless they're traveling.
Unless they're traveling. They use it for the free calls and the videos calls. They don't see it as a business tool.
Right.
And it's the world's most popular communications platform. It now supports up to 3 gigabytes of file transfers, for example. So more and more business people are using WhatsApp as their primary form of communication. And the WhatsApp groups, the networking that takes place in them is primarily text driven. Which is why I encourage people to use WhatsApp on their computer. A lot of people don't know you can. And I wouldn't be able to do what I do if it was purely on my smartphone. It would drive me nuts.
Right.
Because the screen and the keyboard are way too small.
Right.
Do you know who Freddie Mercury was?
I do. Freddie Mercury, he was a musician, right?
Exactly. He once said, the bigger the better in everything. And when it comes to screens and keyboard sizes, he was bang on the money. But I think he was talking about something else.
I think so too. But Tiana says yes for the free calls. Yes. Thank you, Tiana. So yes, I agree. And you know what, Mark, I'm not even sure that I knew that you could download WhatsApp to your computer.
You don't have to download anything. You just go to web.whatsapp.com and then you marry the QR code to your smartphone and it works on your computer.
Okay, we're going to post that web.whatsapp.com and make people aware of this new thing. Well, it's not new. It's just new to me. This is a thing. You can have WhatsApp on your computer as well as your smartphone device. Already adding value to our audience. Love this. All right. So how have you, Marc, seen WhatsApp transform and evolve over time? I know that you said that primarily it started out just being a free phone call kind of thing, but people, more and more businesses are using it. In what way?
Well, to communicate with their clients and their customers and prospective customers and partners and collaboration partners. I mean, the use of WhatsApp is limited only to your imagination. But sorry, at the end of the day, it's a communications tool. Right. It's the world's most popular communications platform. And business boils down to people and trust. So what I've done is created and curated this enormous ecosystem of various WhatsApp groups. Each WhatsApp group covers its own industry or subject or country. Okay. And I'm all about developing relationships. Right. And life is all about relationships with our partner, friends, family, and human beings in general.
100%.
So I'm all about building those relationships, and then the money comes later, the business comes later.
Right. 100%. I could not agree more. As I mentioned at the outset, the whole business of Executive Help Now started with word of mouth referrals, because they said when you get ready to go into business, just tell everybody. Tell everybody you started a business and you're getting ready to do something. And then once you do that, they'll tell people. Then once, the word gets out, they'll tell more people, and those people will tell other people. And you keep on telling people on whatever platform it looks like, whether it's face-to-face, whether it's as a group text message to your friends and family, or on social media platforms. You just shout it from the rooftops. I've started a business, or I'm doing this thing, or, whatever it looks like. And it just takes off. And people start to develop trust in you because of the trust they have in the person that referred you.
Exactly. So when someone refers someone to me, if I trust the referrer, de facto, I trust the referee. So I don't need to do any due diligence or anything about that individual, because I trust the individual that referred them. Easy.
Right. Yes, absolutely. It's such a warm connection. It's almost like a hug, before you even get to know somebody. It's like you're already welcomed in, by virtue of the fact that you have each other and this person in common.
Exactly.
Right. And Nia Robinson says, didn't know about the WhatsApp web app. So she thanks you for sharing that, Mark. Thank you so much.
Tell her to reach out to me, and I'll get her into the Powerful Women group that you're now in.
Yeah,
that's my favorite group. Most of the individuals in my network are women. I salute women that are making roads in industries like tech, venture capital, engineering, industries that are dominated by men. I feel the system is slightly skewed against women. And if you're a woman of color, which you are, even more so. So I've got 3 mentees. They're all young Black women. And one of them has been told she's going to become one of Africa's first astronauts. And I taught her how to use LinkedIn about 4 years ago. Very proud of her, obviously.
Right. Wow.
Yes, wow. She's amazing.
That is fantastic. I mean, truly, the Women's Network and this virtual power network, the caliber of these women is nothing short of mind blowing. So mind blowing. And then you allowed me to be a part of it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I call them rock stars. And I met a rock star last week. She's a senator, Washington senator. She's now in the Powerful Women group.
Wow.
But there's also most of my network are self-employed entrepreneurs, so-called solopreneurs like me. Some of them are very successful, others less so. But I believe in diversity and inclusion, and entrepreneurs should support one another.
Absolutely. 100%. Entrepreneurs should definitely support one another. And I love that you have created a place and space for that to happen, where we can tell just a little bit about who we are. When I was reading through the background of the inspiration behind that group, I was like, this is so incredible, so fantastic that this exists and that it was created by a man, but it is definitely needed for us women. Like, you created this space for us, like an ally. And that is just so fantastic. And we appreciate you so much for all you do for all the women that, because even though I know that there are some men in the groups as well. But
5% of the individuals in the Powerful Women group that you've joined are men. Because if it was just me and 650 women, would be mildly discomforting for both parties.
Well, but I'm sure you are so well-rounded and you just will welcome everyone and anyone, like the big brother. Say, here, little sister, let me help you, connect you with other little sisters. So I love it. So what makes What's What app so powerful, such a powerful tool for building connections?
Well, there are 3 billion reasons why people should use WhatsApp, because that's how many people use it.
Wow.
So in India and in Brazil, in Europe, it's pretty much ubiquitous. Everyone uses WhatsApp. It's very rare to find someone that doesn't.
Right.
So does that answer your question?
Yes, absolutely. 3 billion with a B.
Exactly.
That's a lot of connections. That's a lot of people. But that's a lot of people. So
right.
How do you navigate to make sure that your people really are the right people and that those are the people you want to do life with?
So most of the members come from referrals, and that's where the trust thing comes in that we were just discussing. But also a lot on LinkedIn. LinkedIn plays a key role in what I do because it's a very powerful information tool, but it's not such a good communications tool. Whereas WhatsApp is the opposite. WhatsApp is a great information tool, communications tool, but you can't see anything about the users.
Right.
So WhatsApp and LinkedIn really complement each other very well.
Wow, that is, you know what? That's a whole new way of thinking about WhatsApp for me, because like you said, most of us, and professionals or business owners, entrepreneurs who want to develop their professional network, go to LinkedIn. But like you said, that's primarily where you get the information about the person, but the actual communicating part, like talking, hearing voices, or communicating, texting, and all that in one spot, WhatsApp is definitely the place for that. Yeah.
One of the first questions I ask people when I connect with them on LinkedIn is, do you mind if we continue the dialogue on WhatsApp? 9 times out of 10, they will say, fine, yes, love to. Occasionally, I come across people who prefer to use WhatsApp for their family and friends only and not use it in a business context. But they're definitely in a minority. Going back to your question about who I accept in, so I look at their LinkedIn profile. If they've got recommendations from other people, if we know people in common, then that's fine. If they've got no recommendations, if no one has recommended them, then that's a bit of a red flag.
Okay, so for all of you in the audience, get recommendations on your LinkedIn profiles.
Absolutely, it's social proof. Social proof is so important. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Because, when someone else says something nice about you, I mean, you can say all the great things about yourself you want to, but when someone else can co-sign on it, then they know everyone else knows you're legit.
There's a lovely rock star in the United States called Dr. Betty. She used to be director of the world's largest bank, JP Morgan Chase.
Oh,
and
wow.
She's written a recommendation for me on LinkedIn last week. It was so long that I couldn't post it as a LinkedIn post. But if you go to my LinkedIn, you'll see it was the last recommendation given. And I'm absolutely honored to have people like her in my network. Extraordinary human being.
Yes.
She's all about values.
Yeah.
Values are so important. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And that basically lays the foundation for your business,
Exactly.
and dictates almost who you do business with and who you don't do business with and why. so that there's
Yeah.
no question about what the situation is. Jane says that she finds it difficult to network on WhatsApp, especially when there are 600 people, but it's great for individual chats. So how would you help Jane navigate that situation?
So I wrote about this recently. I've never claimed that WhatsApp groups are the panacea to networking. Quite the opposite. They're random, they're chaotic, they're quite noisy places. It's certainly not for everyone. But I can teach people how to extract the heavenly bits and ignore the hellish bits. If you can skim read, that helps.
Mhm.
But I'm doing in person, well, not in person. I'm doing both in person meetups, but also online meetups
Mhm.
regularly. And
Nice.
that's where you can actually see and hear the people on a video call on something called Remo, which is like Zoom on steroids. Okay, that's where I have all my meetings.
Okay.
And obviously, it's 1,000 times more effective when you can actually see and hear people.
Right. Exactly. And what's it called again? Bremo?
Remo, REMO.co.
Remo.co. Okay, so
Yeah,
that's a Zoom alternative to
exactly.
connect with people.
It's much better for networking than Zoom is.
Okay.
And
Well,
if you don't turn up for my meeting at noon next Wednesday, I'll be quite disappointed.
oh, okay. Well, I'm marking my calendar from now. Get so slammed back to back. But I promise you, I will do everything in my power to be there.
Fantastic.
So, Mark, what would you say that is one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they get into a group, a WhatsApp group? What are some common mistakes that people make that they can, and how do they avoid them?
Okay, so networking is like opening a bank account. You cannot make a withdrawal until you've made a deposit. It's about serving others. So
Mm. Oh, I
forget
love.
yourself for a moment and start establishing how can you serve the people? Take an interest in people. Because
Yes.
if you take an interest in them, they will reciprocate.
Yes. Yes. Oh, what great advice. Absolutely. So when you're networking, it's like opening a bank account. You cannot make any withdrawals until you've made some deposits. Because, right, you will go negative in your bank account. You don't want that ever. So you have to put in deposits so that you can make withdrawals. So
Exactly.
I love how you said take an interest in people, learn more about them, what they're doing, what their pain points are. How can you serve them? And even if it's like an article you come across that has nothing to do with you and your life, but you remember as you're reading this article, oh yeah, I was networking with someone and they were saying that this was a thing for them. Maybe they find it interesting, and then you forward them that article in the on the app or in the group or whatever, or you connect with them on WhatsApp or even on LinkedIn, and then you share that with them, and they are so grateful that they were even a part of your thought process. So you've made a deposit. Is that what you mean?
Exactly. Exactly that.
Awesome.
Exactly that. Like life is a boomerang. You reap what you sow. Okay. I
Mhm.
went to 13 different schools. They were all what the Brits called state schools. But the
Okay.
last school I went to was a public school, which is going to be the most oxymoronic term in British English. Because in order to go to a public school in the UK, you need to have money. So my
Oh,
father paid good money to send me to the school, and the headmaster at that school beat me twice for unruly behaviour. But we really liked each other, and he picked up on James Dyson's gift. Have you heard of James Dyson?
I don't think I've heard of James Dyson.
Okay, he's a famous British inventor.
Mhm.
He invented a vacuum cleaner that a lot of people use. Anyway,
Mm.
he
Oh,
identified that.
I have
Um,
a Dyson. Hold on, does that count?
Yeah, there you go. You own a Dyson. Anyway, So my headmaster picked up on Dyson's gift and he gifted him a bursary. In other words, he could go to the school at no charge. Last year, Mr. Dyson gifted the school a £35 million science laboratory. So what goes around comes around.
Oh, absolutely. And Daily Movement Web Shop agrees with you 100% and says, yep, you reap what you sow. And
Exactly.
Deborah says that you're sounding good and loving the shades. Absolutely. So keep that in mind.
Deborah, she secured more than 100 meetings in her diary in less than a month after joining virtualpowernetworking.com. Yes.
Get a hand clap. We need something applause for Deborah. That is fantastic. We'll take it back to our WhatsApp group. That is awesome. Congratulations, Deborah. That is so wonderful. And Wendy says that she loves her Dyson air filter. Yes, Dyson.
Right. In some ways, the headmaster is responsible for that vacuum cleaner that Wendy has coming into existence. Wonderful. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Two Dyson customers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wendy says that she loves her air filter, and also, so I have the vacuum cleaner, and there's also this bladeless fan.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? It's like just nothing but air come out.
That's also Dyson, and you said you didn't know who it was.
I don't know him as a person. I know his equipment.
Well, his name is James Dyson, and he's a British inventor. And that's the brand. Yeah.
Yes. I support him.
Evidently, yeah.
I use the bladeless fan in my bathroom when I'm doing my makeup to keep from sweating while I'm doing my makeup. Oh, that is awesome. And Deborah says, yay, thanks. So now, Marc, as we're thinking about leveraging our network, how can professionals grow their network strategically without feeling overwhelmed? Because there's a lot. Building relationships takes effort, time. It can be overwhelming sometimes. How do you do it strategically?
So each of my WhatsApp group has got its own theme. So one of them, for example, is all about the construction industry. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if you're involved in the construction industry and you join that group, you're going to be rubbing shoulders with other people in the construction industry. And that's going to give you a level of comfort that will make you feel at home with other people because they talk about things that are relevant to them.
Right.
So strategic networking involves drilling down into your niche. And one of my favorite questions when people join my network is, if I was to create a WhatsApp group that revolves around you and your work, what would I call it? Then I wait for the answer, create the group, and then I tell them that becomes their funnel. So I'm going to ask you that question, Renee. If I was to create a WhatsApp group that revolves around you and your work, what would I call it?
Virtual assistant rock stars.
Beautiful. Okay. Virtual assistant rock stars. Then after your introduction, I will say something like, if anyone would like to meet Renee and learn more about her work, please join this group. And anyone that joins the VA Rockstars group is a red hot lead for you.
Yes.
Otherwise, they wouldn't ask to join the group. And they've got context from the introduction.
Right. Oh, that is just brilliant. I love that, Marc.
See you, Bora.
You are just so full of golden nuggets of wisdom. I love it. Thank you so much for that just making it seem so simple and so easy, but definitely help us niche and be strategic about the network, about networking, so that we don't get overwhelmed. Because when we niche down, it limits who's going to reach out to us, and it limits the type of conversations that we need to have. And by having that introduction at the beginning of the whole channel about what the channel is even about, then there's no question about whether or not they should be here if they're in the right place. You know what I mean?
Right. I also offer a bragging as a service. Um, a lot of the people in my network are very braggable. You're quite braggable, but if you tell the world how awesome you are, it's a little bit vulgar.
Mm-hmm.
If you get someone else to do it for you, in other words, me, then that's okay.
Right.
And I also offer a concierge service because a lot of people, as you pointed out, hate networking. About 1 in 5 people hate it. It's not their thing at all. A bit like public speaking, they just do not enjoy it.
Right.
They hire me, I can tenaciously seek out the people that they need to meet and just bring them to them, because a lot of those individuals that hate networking, they're more than happy to have a one-to-one, but they just don't enjoy the process of getting to that one-to-one through networking.
Right. Right. It's hard. Like you said, it is like public speaking because you're communicating with someone that you don't know, and someone who doesn't know you. And so it can be intimidating. It can really feel overwhelming and feel, if you're not an extrovert, or and people make you, you're not a people person, I'll put it that way. So then you need other people like you and the service that you provide. I love that you provide bragging as a service.
Bragging as a service, and I've got an in-flight connect service now because WhatsApp works on board aircraft thanks to onboard Wi-Fi. So
Yeah.
after you've eaten a meal and watched a movie, what are you going to do for 8 hours? Why not grow your network? I can introduce you to people while you're flying at your destination and globally. How cool is that?
Wow. That is just absolute brilliance, Mark. Just brilliance. I love it. Oh, I have so many questions, and I can't believe we're already halfway through this show. We haven't even but touched the tip of the iceberg. So, when you think of the future of virtual networking, how do you see the digital communities growing or staying connected or evolving?
Okay, so if you go to my LinkedIn, you'll see that I wrote an article in 2018 called The Wonderful World of Virtual Networking. Back then, no one really took me that seriously, but when the pandemic came along in 2020, it became the only way to network. So in that respect, COVID did me a favor. And now we're into a hybrid world where we have both. And now it's impossible to think of a world without virtual networking. Virtual networking rocks because it saves a ton of time, money, and carbon. But best of all, it's global.
That's
And
right.
what I've created is going to get better over time. It's like
Mm.
fine wine for two
Mhm.
reasons. A, the caliber of the people coming into the network is just getting incredible. The tire
Yeah.
kickers and the time wasters are leaving. And
Mhm.
also, we now live in an era of artificial intelligence and bots. And human beings are social animals. Yeah,
Mhm.
we need that human contact. And that's what I provide using
Mhm.
this technology and this incredible network. Oh,
Wow.
there is the article. Do you
Yeah,
see?
yeah, we
Yeah,
pulled that up. It is fantastic. It's a beautiful graphic that goes with the article, The Wonderful World of Virtual Networking. I love they look like sorry pieces, but I'm sure those are people from all over the globe representing this interconnectedness that we all have, no matter where we are. And Ania, says that that's brilliant. I think she's referring to the part where you were talking about networking while you're on the plane and being able to connect with people. So by the time you land, you've already got some connections.
Well, if you go to my newsletters, the newsletter section, you will see the proof of concept. A lovely lady called Sujata met three rock stars in Singapore, New York, and somewhere else where I can't remember, Australia. Yeah. And all of those introductions were made while she was flying.
Holy camoly.
Yeah.
That is wild. That is wild. And how brilliant though that, like, especially if you're a woman and you're traveling by yourself to a country, you hope nothing bad happens, but to have somebody on the ground there that you've already connected with through this community, you don't feel so alone. You don't feel like it's just you. And you call it in-flight introductions, a case study. I love this article. Being able to utilize these in-flight introductions to kind of help bolster and create maybe a sense of not being alone. That's basically.
Well, the thing is that the people that fly a lot are usually very busy people that don't have time to network really and grow their network. So I can expedite that process when they're flying, and turn that downtime into a valuable opportunity to grow their network.
Yeah, like fun time, like almost being pen pals. Do you remember the days of pen pals?
Yes. You're giving your age away a bit there, Desiree, but yes, I can remember them.
I know. It's like, okay, that was elementary school. I was just a kid. And Deborah says that she's asked to connect with me on LinkedIn. Okay, Deborah, you got it. We are definitely going to connect and progress. So excited for that. This whole conversation has been absolutely thrilling to me. Absolutely thrilling. When I learn new things for myself, I get excited. When I can facilitate our audience learning new things, I'm over the moon. Absolutely over the moon. So, Marc, I am so grateful to you and just so thankful that you have brought this to our attention, made us known that this is a thing. This whole virtual networking business, this is definitely the way that of the future, not only just now in building our network for our business relationships and, or personal relationships or whatever, but definitely will be even more important as we scale and grow our businesses. So important. So important. And TJ Galloway gives a thumbs up. So I think he's in agreement.
Fantastic. So yeah, my primary target market is anyone that's self-employed needs to network. Anyone whose remit is business development needs to network. Young people need to network, and several young people have found work through my network because the best jobs are unadvertised. And also the parents of adult children, because I can't think of a better gift to give your child than access to an amazing network that never sleeps.
Oh, so good. So good. That and it's so true. Everyone needs to network. And I think too, do you agree with this statement that it's easier for younger people to network virtually?
Not necessarily, because I'm finding that younger people don't necessarily have the social skills that we have, because they're constantly in front of their smartphones. The smartphones are actually killing off the communications that matter the most, the human ones. And even though WhatsApp is it's an app, I am concerned about the what smartphones are doing to the mental health of young people. And
Oh,
we
wow.
as parents are hardly good role models because everyone's addicted to their smartphones nowadays.
Yes, that is so true. And so I wonder if maybe there needs to be a group for young people and how to develop these social skills, and have people be in the group that
Mm,
can help them navigate that and know and
mm,
understand what that looks like. Because you're right. So many people, parents included, can get so inundated with what's on the phone. Who's calling, who's texting, who's saying what about what, and what's in the news, and who's wearing who, and all of the things, fashion and makeup and the dances and all of the, and so, it's addictive. And so it's hard to break away from that and understand what does it look like to have an actual conversation of substance with a real person. How do we do that? So maybe we need another group, Mark. I'm just saying.
okay, I like your thinking. And but by the way, the hyperlocal groups that I have, I've got groups for Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, Florida, all the major metropolitan areas in the United States.
Mhm.
And also like my Dubai group, for example, they've already met 5 or 6 times in person. Because of
Yay.
course, if the WhatsApp group is hyperlocal, it's much easier then for the individuals to meet in person and have a cappuccino or a light lunch or
Yeah.
even dinner.
Hmm. Yes, I love it. I love it. Kind of like using WhatsApp almost as a meetup, because you know how there's a meetup uh, website for different groups and communities of people. I think that WhatsApp is an even broader worldwide meetup. I put that in air quotes, meetup type of platform. And Marie says that she's enjoying this video. Virtual networking is definitely the way of the future. So thank you so much.
Would you describe yourself as a badass woman doing kick-ass shit?
Well, if I cussed, I probably would.
Because my new bestie, Senator Mona, she inspired that group. She's actually making a movie bearing the same name. And I
Wow.
get the feeling you are that kind of person. So there's another group for you.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love being connected to women who are making things happen,
So do
who
I.
are kicking butt and taking names.
Yes. Yes.
I love it. Absolutely.
I can't get enough of them.
Oh, but TJ Galloway is cracking up because he knows me well.
Oh, TJ's an amazing connector.
Yeah. Oh, TJ Galloway's in the chat. Yes, he is an amazing connector as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're
Yeah.
gonna to show his smiling faces. He's enjoying this very much. You are cracking him up, Mark. So
He's a real heart-centered super connector. Great guy.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely, 100%. So as we only have a few minutes left, and I want to make sure that we cover every single thing that every business owner, entrepreneur, solopreneur, young person, parent of adult children, what do they need to know right now to make a difference in their business or in their relationships virtually?
So networking remains an inherent part of the human condition. We're all hardwired to network and grow our tribes. All
Mm-hmm.
self-employed people intuitively know that they need to network. But the
Yes.
world's largest networking network is called BNI. Have you heard of them?
I have heard of BNI.
Okay, so they meet at silly o'clock in the morning, and it's very, very structured networking.
Yes.
My network never closes, and it's really laid back networking. I don't, I'm not really a huge fan of um, rules, too many rules. The only rule I don't that I have is that I don't allow politics and religion in my WhatsApp groups
Awesome.
because it's too binary and divisive.
Absolutely.
I like to keep the mood in my groups light and fluffy.
Yeah.
So yeah, no talk about politics or religion, please.
Awesome. Smart man. Smart man. Wendy has a question. She says that follow-up is her weakness. Do you have any tips when you're doing all this virtual networking? How can we make sure that we follow up?
Go to ChatGPT and tell it to give you 10 instructions so that you always follow up. Okay, and then on 9 o'clock on Monday morning, just go through that list until you're just a follow-up queen.
Wow. Okay, Wendy, there you have it. Go to ChatGPT and say, give me 10 follow-up instructions. So, and I love AI that we have.
Or make me your accountability partner, Wendy. And I'll make sure that you follow up.
Awesome.
And then you can make sure I do something.
Yeah. What? Yeah. How generous, Marc? You're going to be inundated with people who want you to be their accountability partner.
Good. Bring it on.
I love that. But having someone that you're accountable to, like when you go to an event. So when you, I love this question because I've struggled with it myself. And one of the pieces of advice that I was also given was to block your calendar the day you return from that event, whether it's that afternoon or the next day, and block 2 hours just for the follow-up of that event, especially if you don't connections.
And start going to LinkedIn events. If you do, you'll see a list of people who registered for that event, and then you can reach out to them on LinkedIn and say something like, hey, we were both registered for the event. Then it's a warm introduction and not a cold one.
Yes, so great. What a great suggestion. So go to LinkedIn. So whenever you attend a LinkedIn event, you can see all the people that have registered, and you can click on everyone and send them a message and say, hey, I see we're both registered. I'd love to learn more about you and your business. You know.
You're a fast learner, Renee. I'm proud of you.
I love it. Thank you so much, Marc. That means a lot. And Marie says, excellent point. Accountability partners are so important. So yes, I am taking this all in, Marc. I mean, these are words from the
You're absorbing it like a sponge.
Yes. Yes, because it's so critical. I'm a business owner. I need to know how to do this and do this well. If I want to grow and scale and provide opportunities for our team, I got to get good at this. So, yes, I'm so glad that you came on the show today to give us face-to-face direct guidance on what it is we need to do to get good at virtual networking, because we can't be everywhere all the time. We have to do some things virtually. And staying connected, staying consistent, I think is also important. Staying consistent and connected will help us inevitably get to meet people we otherwise wouldn't get to meet because they are referrals or on someone else's network. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. And I think you're going to become a virtual networking goddess. I'll teach you.
I'm receiving that. I love it. I love it. So, Marc, how can our audience stay connected with you once the show is over? And they are unable to watch the replay, how can they reach you directly?
Well, have a guess.
Maybe on WhatsApp.
Yes, if you go to the contact section of my website, okay, on the top right-hand side where it says contact, then you see the WhatsApp option.
Yeah,
that's the preferred option. The second preferred option is LinkedIn,
Okay.
or if all else fails, email.
Okay, got you. And we have your WhatsApp number on the screen as well,
Yep.
so that people can reach out to you there. I'm
I
gonna
can introduce you to people today to help meet your business goals immediately. Yeah.
immediately. I love it. Love it. Love it. So there's no excuses, audience members that we love so dearly. No excuses for being stagnant in your business.
Oh, by the
You,
way, on that screen share just now,
yeah,
there
yeah,
was
yeah,
a
we'll go
guy.
back.
Can you go back to it briefly?
Yeah, absolutely.
See on the bottom right-hand corner, Nusia Yassin. Have you heard of him?
Nope, I don't think I have. Mm-mm.
Otherwise known as Nas Daily. He's got 16 million followers on social media,
Holy
and
moly.
he powers my eco program. Okay,
Wow.
he's
Wow.
amazing. Yeah.
That is fantastic. And I see that he's a member of the Pantheon group as well. The most trusted, my most trusted.
Yes. My
That is
most trusted is a great way of quarantining the people that you genuinely know and trust
yeah,
on LinkedIn. Like
yeah,
I've got, I think, 16,000 followers, but I don't know most of them. So
um,
using that tool, I can quarantine the people that I genuinely know and trust. Then you can see who those people are. And
yes,
then using that tool, you can ask for an introduction, and then it's a warm introduction.
yes, absolutely. I too have the my most trusted app connected to my LinkedIn Chrome or extension or whatever, and it is so beneficial to know for 100% certainty that this is number one, a real person, and number two, that they can be trusted with your opportunity or with the communications that you're having with them. And Jane says that she agrees. My most trusted is an excellent place to connect with real people, not bots or scammers. Absolutely, 100%. Man, that is so. Whoever created my most trusted is an absolute genius.
That's Scott Kundell, wonderful guy. And he got stranded in Bali during the pandemic in one of the best resorts on the island. So if you're going to be stranded anywhere, be stranded in Bali.
Really? Yes. I think I wouldn't mind being stranded in Bali. Well, I would, man, that whole, just the idea to create something like that is just brilliant, sheer brilliance. So I love that. And I love that you know him. He's a part of your network.
Well, I went over to Dubai last year to collect an award from him, and all roads lead to Dubai at the moment. It's a lot of action in Dubai. Have you ever been?
Not yet. That's one on my list of things to do very soon.
And to come and visit Marc for a lavish lunch in London.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I would love that. And Jane says that Scott Kundell from South Africa. He's awesome. Wish I was stranded with him back
But
then.
unfortunately, he's got a significant other, the wonderful Cherie.
Ah,
So they were stranded there together.
got you. Okay, so he's off the market.
Mm.
So, oh well. Well, I wonder if there's a singles group out there for matchmaking.
Well, I have created human beings with my Cupid playing antics back in the day, but I do focus nowadays on business matchmaking and not romantic matchmaking. Although that's quite a large industry as well, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is. I mean, everybody needs love, and there's somebody out there for everybody. I honestly believe that. So, yeah, that is fantastic. But business matchmaking definitely is where it's at. And like you started the show, if you go into a networking experience, whether it's face to face or virtually, with the mindset and the attitude that I am here to find out from you how I can be of service to you, then it, number one, takes away all the fear of it because you just want to go there to help somebody else. And when you go in there with that mindset that I'm just here to be helpful, to find out from you what you need, where you're lacking, how I
Right.
might be able to fill that gap, it's not a scary experience anymore. And
Exactly.
it's a whole different mindset, just a
There's
whole different mindset.
there's one other piece of advice I would like to give to answer your question. I think all listeners and you should call and meet Bordy.
Buddy?
Bordy.
Gordy.
Bordy.
Bordy. Who's Bordy?
Bordy is your new best friend.
Body is my
Can you call him now? It's an AI super connector.
Oh, body.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you
I
want to
don't know.
call him now?
Okay, you're gonna do it?
No, you're going to do it.
How am I gonna do it?
So you get your cell phone and you dial a number and you call him. His name's Bordy, and you just talk to him like you would a human being.
Okay.
And it's all going to be about you. He's going to ask you some really cool questions. Okay.
Okay.
And this way we're going to learn about you.
Bordy. Okay.
Okay.
So we have it pulled up.
Okay. Are you ready to dial the following number?
Okay, we're ready. We're gonna put it up on the screen. What's the number?
Okay. So it's 415 9699 735.
Okay. 415 969 9735.
That's right. Just call and put it on loudspeaker and put your phone near the microphone. You're going to love him.
Oh,
And
okay.
if you're into Australian men, this is your lucky day.
Okay. And if I'm married, which I am happily.
Purely professional. So, yeah, this should be fun. Are you going to
And
call
Jay,
him?
well, my phone is in the other room. I had to make sure it wouldn't make noise during our live. So I left it in the other room. But Wendy wants to know if that's a U.S. number.
That's a US number.
It is a U.S. number.
There is a UK number as well.
And Jane said she didn't want to be in Bali with Scott Condell like that. She just wanted to be in Bali. Thank you for clarifying, Jane. You never know. Well, this has been so fun. And now, is Bordy going to help us stay connected and help us follow up?
Bordy's going to introduce you to some amazing individuals directly and also indirectly.
Okay. Awesome. I love it. Well, like you said, we are business owners. We need to be connected. People need to know our names and we need to know other people's names. So it is so super critical.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I can call him if you like, and I can tell him about you.
Okay.
And I'll ask him if he can help you in any way.
I would love that.
Are you excited?
I'm super excited. I wish my phone was right here. I can't believe it's not right here. I usually just turn it off and leave it right here in front of me.
Okay. So I'm going to call him now.
Awesome. Jane
and
said
you were listening.
Okay, I'm listening. Put it to the mic.
Hey, Buddy. I am on I'm being interviewed at the moment by the wonderful Renee. Could you explain to her how you can help grow her business?
I help people find meaningful connections in my network based on their specific needs. Whether Renee is looking to meet potential clients, partners, investors, or stores in a particular industry, I can search my network to find the right match. I get to know people's goals and challenges through conversations like this. Thoughtful introductions that could lead to valuable opportunities. Would me to learn more about Renee's business to suggest what kind of connections might be most helpful for her?
Absolutely. I think it's best if she tells you about her, because she knows her better than I know her. And then you can develop a relationship. And can you make her rich? Can you enrich in her bank account?
I'd love to chat directly with Renee while I can't.
Oh, it's a little bit hard to hear, Marc.
I just saw a message on the screen that Jane can't hear, so I killed the call, but you get the gist.
I do get the gist. And we did put up the website, www.bordy.ai.
Right, and what it says at the top there is true. It raised $8 million pre-seed with no human beings. The AI actually raised the money.
Wow, that is bananas.
Wow.
Jane
Wow.
says she needs to go. She has to run, but she'll call Bordy later.
I don't blame you, Jane.
And yeah, it is 1 o'clock. It is 2 o'clock Eastern here in Atlanta.
Absolute pleasure.
Definitely had a blast with you on the show, Marc. Thank you so much for these amazing tips and tricks for helping us be rock star virtual networkers. And I can't wait to stay connected with everyone and our entire audience today and in the future. Marc, you were made for something great. So go and be awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.